Hello Illumineers and welcome back to Garrick's Lorcana Lair. My name is Garrick and today we're going to be unboxing the Illumineer's Quest Palace Heist. I've been so excited to get my hands on this, and now that it has been released, we can finally take a look at what's inside. The Palace Heist is here, and the Illumineer's quests are one of my favorite things to do in Disney Lorcana. I think it's a great thing that Ravensburger does. It is an amazing game mode and a ton of fun to play with your friends, family, and I think it's a great way to get people in to Disney Lorcana and become lifelong fans. So without any further ado, let's take a look at what's in the Palace Heist. Okay, so first, the box looks absolutely amazing. It's like a board game box. It's completely different from the last one that we got. That was the Ursula Deep Trouble Illumineer's Quest. The back here explains how the game is going to go, what you're going to get inside, and it's just generally really nice packaging here. And if we take a look at the previous Illumineer's Quest, Deep Trouble, they made a lot of changes that I think are really good. So this is not resealable. There are two ends here, each are glued down. So it's not really reusable. It's not like a box that you can store the game in and take it wherever you go. So I have my one that is opened elsewhere, and it is put away in a bunch of different boxes and cases that I had to, procure myself because it didn't come with one. But this is like I said, it's like a board game box, so you can store and put everything back where it belongs. So let's get some scissors out here and let's take a look at what comes inside of the Palace Heist. Let's flip it over and reveal the contents inside. Wow, beautiful already, straight off the top. I believe this is the game board, which is wrapped up here in some nice plastic. We'll open that here in just a second. Here we have the rule book telling us how the rules work of Disney Lorcana and the Palace Heist itself. This, I believe, is Jafar, the High Sultan of Lorcana, as he has taken over Owl Island. Oh, he's the Supreme Sorcerer of Lorcana. I know in the card he is the High Sultan of Lorcana, but here he's the Supreme Sorcerer, and you get to see his card back there, just like Ursula had her own unique card back, as does Jafar. You can see the shifting sands and his scarabs that he sends out. Here we have Jafar's throne room. It is one of the battlegrounds. This is essentially going to be your easy mode. There are different levels to this Palace Heist to make it more challenging or easier. This is going to be the normal difficulty, which is the secret passage. And I believe we see Aladdin here sliding down through the secret passage. Next, we have hard mode, where we have Aladdin coming up here, running up the stairs. And then we do have full alert, which is extreme difficulty. And you can just see the difference in the art there. All the scarabs assembling. It does look very scary. So let's take a look at this game board here, as I'll try and get it open without the scissors so I don't damage it. I would hate to do that because, man, they have really stepped up their game over at Ravensburger. Already, I'm incredibly pleased with the changes that have been made. And here we go. This is the back of the game board. I'll move all of this out of the way so we can get a nice look at it. Here it is, the Palace Heist artwork here on the back. gorgeous. And yeah, it's very nice compared to what we had previously, especially, which was just a foldable piece of paper for your game board. Nothing wrong with that, but this is just an incredible step up in quality that you absolutely love to see. And take a look at the art here. You all know I'm a lore fiend. I absolutely love it. We have Jafar here with one of his snakes. We're trying to take the Hexwell crown away from Jafar, which is also what Ursula used when she tried to take over Lorcana. She did it a bit differently than Jafar did, but we have Shanzay here with her Inkcaster, Martin with his guitar Inkcaster, Venturo as well, Bolt coming in to try and grab it, Basil, who was previously hypnotized by Jafar in a previous set, and of course we have Aladdin here diving to grab the crown. So everyone is trying to get their hands on this powerful Lorcana artifact. And there is the game board. Here's where you place the crown. Jafar, you can keep track of how many cards Jafar is drawing. Jafar's discard, his deck, his hand, locations, inkwell, and then his play area. You can also track the lore here along the bottom. Jafar needs to get up to 40 lore to win it all. Love to see that. Love to see that. And there he is, Jafar in all of his glory. Here we have some extra goodies that we're going to need to play the game. And look at this, a resealable bag. Every board game player loves to see that and definitely owns plenty of these. I have some games that I don't even want to know the amount of baggies that are in the box for some of the games that I have. But you definitely need them to sort everything. Here we have the Reforged Crown. Now this is really interesting. This is thick. This is like the game board thick. You can see how thick it is. And let's take a look at the difference between Jafar, which is almost non-existent on the camera, right? Compared to the crown itself, which is a key piece. It's going to get passed back and forth between the player and Jafar. So it makes sense for it to be a little bit sturdier, but they both have the same beautiful back there. So we'll place Jafar back where he goes, even though you can kind of see him there. And let's flip over the Reforged Crown. At the start of their turn, whoever has this item gains 2 lore. If this item would leave play for any reason, Jafar steals it instead, so you cannot destroy the crown. And while he has this item, he cannot lose the game. So the object is to steal the crown and escape with it. It is a heist after all. These, I believe, are some deck boxes for Jafar's deck, and the 2 decks that come with the Palace Heist. So let's assemble them real quick. They come together really nicely. The Bolt and Goofy deck there. And then this one is going to be the Elsa and the Pinocchio deck goes into this box. So you get 2 legendaries with this box at least. I don't know every single card that is in each deck, but we will take a look at those decks in just a moment. If I can assemble this box properly. So there's 1 and 2, and these are actually pretty nice for being just cardboard boxes. They seem pretty sturdy and could take some wear and tear, most definitely, as we need to assemble Jafar's as well. And his just has that beautiful key art of Jafar, just looking so powerful. So let's take a look at these decks. Here's the Pinocchio deck, as I'll set these up here. Again, I don't know exactly what is in these. I wanted to save a lot of it for myself, and look at that, would ya? Let's pull in a little bit on this if we can. And can we get a little better focus on this? Oh, went the wrong way. There we go. Beautiful. All right, so here we have a gorgeous Pinocchio legendary, and it is still embossed like the legendaries you would get in a pack, but you can see It's got this special sand here shifting off to the sides and on the lore counter, down here in the text box as well, and here on the ink color being amethyst. And then you have this beautiful foil pattern, which reminds me a lot of shifting sand, so I think it's really appropriate. And I also really love that the enchanteds from this set, and since Shimmering Skies sort of have that feel as well, I got this yesterday in my sealed packs, and you can tell, you can see the way that those go vertically as these are more horizontal. I don't know if that was 100% intentional, but maybe it was. I'd like to think that it was. Since Shimmering Skies, we've had that new foil pattern, and maybe it has been a hint to what was coming up and who was going to be the big bad. A lot of people thought it was going to be Hades, but it ended up being Jafar, and Hades still scheming in the back. As we get to our next card, it is an Elsa, which is also beautiful and has that same shifting sand going across it instead of the tentacles, which we got in the Deep Trouble Illumineer's quest. So let's take a look at the deck. We have an Elsa the Fifth Spirit, one of the best cards in the game, and Into the Unknown. I think a lot of people are excited for that. Anna, Olaf. So we're getting a very, very Frozen themed deck. Elsa, two of these new Elsas, two Annas, an Atlantean Crystal. Somebody played that against me yesterday. All has found a great card. Get two of those. So this is already a really, really good deck with a lot of great cards in it. Bruni. But anyway, the Atlantean Crystal was going crazy and sealed yesterday. Forestall, also another amazing card. Sven, you get two of those. Great. Three of those. Anna, Icebreaker. Makes a lot of sense to have these dual ink Elsa and Anna cards as they are so synergistic. They go so well together. Tipo, Growing Sun, a staple card within Disney Lorcana as a meta. Here we have a Sir Pellinor. We get a few copies of that. Ludwig von Drake to help you quest. Sapphire Coil, also a crazy powerful staple card. Here we get a couple of Sisus with Challenger. Honey Marin to help you get your lore up throughout the battle with Jafar. Elsa. And like I said, we're going to get a bunch of these Elsa cards and Anna cards because they're just so synergistic. Here we have Ryder. You can see him bounding through the palace, trying to help out in any way he can to get back that Hexwell crown. We have the Knock, a great damage transferring character. We have Ben, King Candy, deciding to help out, I guess. Maybe he's got his own schemes cooking up. We've been getting a lot of racers recently, and here we have Olaf, another Anna. As we're getting to the back here, Water has memory, and that is the deck. So you're getting a bunch of great cards in the Pinocchio Elsa deck. Definitely not just a great way to play with your friends and family, but also if you want to start a collection, you want to get into the game and play it either at your local scene or more competitively. These decks are not bad to just start off with. Learn the game and you get a bunch of good cards. Here we have that Goofy Legendary. I love this card. It does a lot. It's able to ready your characters and heal them simultaneously. So he's in the kitchen, he's cooking up. I was watching some Goof Troop the other day, and then in the first episode, the first scene you see in Goof Troop, Goofy is in the kitchen cooking for Max some meatballs. So very appropriate there. And here we have a Bolt, absolutely gorgeous artwork, and that new foil pattern just makes it pop so much. Love that. Lilo, wow, that's amazing. Lilo, one of the best cards in the game. Rhino, here we have a Revive. That's got to be useful against Jafar. We're going to get into a lot of bolts here as we go. Raya, Doc, another crazy good card, and you get two Docs in this deck. That's amazing. Nani, Stitch, Monterey Jack here. Try Everything. Great song. Invited to the Ball, which was a the North American and European Championship promo that all the players who earned their spot got. Pluto, of course, you couldn't have a Goofy deck without old Pluto there, as you see them side by side. Hot Potato, Beyond the Horizon, another card that I think is going to be really, really good in this game for a long, long time. Zippers, we get triple zippers into more bolts here. Triple bolts and rhinos, of course, these theme decks, but also synergistic decks as well. For sure, you gotta have a couple 1-drops. Healing Touch, keep those characters healthy as they're challenging into Jafar's Mulan, also another amazing card in the game. Hercules, I love this art. I like to think that Hercules was the first one off the ships and on to the island when they went to meet Arcasia for the first time. Bolt, Training Staff, Simba, Dr. Calico, and that is that deck. Another super fun deck and very synergistic, like I mentioned. If anything, it's worth it just for like these amazing looking cards, not just the legendaries, but Bolt and the Elsa as well. All right, let's take a look here. All right, we've got a bunch of counters to keep track of the board state, which is great to have. A lot of people like using dice, but you want everything in the game to be able to play the game without anything else. So here you have all of those. And again, they come in a nice baggie. Now let's take a look at Jafar's deck. This I'm really, really interested to see. While I have played this virtually with JDZ, Wonderland, and Lorcana Bell, I have not seen these in person, and I have not looked at the cards online, so this will be cool to see them all in person for the first time. Metal Scorpion, as you see, little Pinocchio there with the key that he just heisted from Jafar, and he is trying to escape with it. It's an evasive 8/5 quest for 2. When Jafar plays this character, each Illumineer chooses and banishes one of their characters, one of their items, and one of their locations. So it's sort of like Lady Tremaine, but insane. Palace Guard, 2/6. Bring it to me. When Jafar plays this character, he steals the Reforged Crown. So not only is Jafar out there and his sand illusions, but he also has guards as well, and this is not an illusion. So the guards can be out there and stealing the crown from you. Got to be careful when you are in the palace. Here we have Iago, Jafar's ever faithful companion. The Raucous Lookout, he has bodyguard. He enters exerted, and while he is exerted, locations cannot be challenged either. So he's got bodyguard for other characters and for locations, which is incredibly powerful. Here we have Razul, the Unyielding Guard. He is a bodyguard as well. A 2-cost 4/4, by the way. No big deal. Treasure Guardian. And here, wow, you can really see how the borders are different. Again, with like the shifting sands motif and theme. Treasure Guardian, Illumineers can't use Battleground abilities. Battleground abilities are special abilities that you get from each instance here. So here are those abilities, just for reference. That's what those are, and they change depending on what level you're playing at. Here's Jafar, Spectral Sorcerer. Now this is an illusion, as we see here. When he plays this character, he plays all items named Mechanical Snake from his discard for free. We'll have to see those mechanical snakes later. Here is a genie illusion, the Towering Phantasm, a 5-cost 3/5 that quests for 2. When Jafar plays this character, if each Illumineer has an exerted character in play, Jafar gains 3 lore. That's incredible. Here we have the Sultan, an illusion. When Jafar plays this character, each Illumineer chooses and discards a card, so he's taking your hand away as well. Here we have Jasmine, an illusion. Ephemeral Princess. Whenever this character quests, Jafar draws a card. Gazim. He is not an illusion. When Jafar plays this character, deals 2 damage to each opposing damaged character, and you can see he's got the crown as well. Everybody's doing their job. Iago with the crown here. He's evasive, and whenever he quests, Jafar steals the crown. Makes sense. Here we have a monumental scarab, a colossus that Jafar has created here. These are not illusions, but entirely different beasts that you need to take down. Magical automatons, it seems to me, and it is chasing down Aladdin there. Here we have another one of these, a gargantuan cobra, 7/5 that quests for 3. When Jafar plays his character, deals 3 damage to each opposing exerted character. Another tiger behemoth, the hulking statue, a 7/8 that quests for 3. Cannot be challenged by damaged characters. Here we have another illusion, Abu. Very cute, but very scary as an illusion. Here we have an Aladdin illusion. He's just a 4/2 evasive, but costs 3. Here we have a Basil, the Shadow Sleuth. I'll admit, is a great mind for a mouse, says Jafar. Sand Blast. It's a 2-cost action. Jafar deals 1 damage to each opposing character. Then put this card into his inkwell face down. Sand Blast again. Destructive Misstep. Wow, that's amazing art. Not that any of these haven't been amazing, but I love this. Jafar's locations lose ward until the start of his next turn. The Illumineers may choose and banish up to 1 of Jafar's locations. Oh, so this is bad for Jafar. That's awesome. Disastrous Sandstorm. Each Illumineer chooses and banishes 1 of their items or locations. Sudden Power. Jafar gains 2 lore, then put this card into his inkwell. So it ramps him and gives him lore. Arcane Quake. Jafar exerts all opposing characters. They can't ready at the start of their turn. Cataclysmic Cyclone. Each Illumineer chooses 1 of their characters' items, locations, then Jafar banishes all other opposing characters' items and locations. Sand Wave. Jafar returns all opposing exerted characters to their Illumineer's hands. Abu just trying to not get swept away, as Jafar says. Here are the mechanical snakes. 0 cost. When he plays this item, he steals the crown. He can banish this item to gain 2 lore. So that's seems pretty troublesome, and was definitely troublesome when I was playing with the other amazing content creators. At the start of Jafar's turn, he banishes this item to have each Illumineer choose 1 of their characters and deal 4 damage to them. Giant Hourglass. Deals 1 damage to each opposing character. Here, we're getting to some locations. Cobra Pit. When he plays this location, he deals 1 damage to each opposing character and it gains a lore. Endless Staircase. Vertigo. When Jafar plays this location, he deals 3 damage to the character with the highest cost each Illumineer has in play. Another Endless Staircase. Royal Armory has resist and gains lore for only 2. Crystal Gate. It has ward, 10 willpower, gains 2 lore. Magical crystal to secure my most powerful treasures. So there you have that. Whenever a character challenges this location, each Illumineer chooses and discards a card. Hall of Illusions. Wonderstruck. Opposing characters can't quest. I'm sure you'll figure it out in 1,000 years or so. Clockwork Saw Blades. Treacherous Trap. No escape. When Jafar plays this location, he deals 2 damage to each opposing character. Ink Moat. Don't get overconfident. They won't all be this easy. It's a 0 cost and just 5 willpower. But as he says, do not get too cocky. So Jafar's got a crazy powerful deck. All right, let's take a look at the box itself. So it's got each one of these different areas where you can keep everything nice, safe, and secure. And again, you can repackage it at the end. Finally, we have, be it known, the contents shall remain hidden while I, Jafar, am Supreme Sorcerer of Lorcana. Now, I am going to open this. Oh, this is lore. This is a lore card. I don't want to spoil that. All right, so that was my unboxing of the Illumineer's Quest Palace Heist. I cannot wait to sit here and play this endlessly and come up with fun decks to try and beat Jafar at every single difficulty. by myself, with friends, I'm just super pumped to do it. So I'm really impressed with what Ravensburger has done here with this new Illumineer's quest. I think the packaging is a major upgrade. I think the decks are incredible. I love the new foil pattern that they did with it. Although I do love, again, what they did with Deep Trouble. Those cards look amazing as well. These are just different and thematic. But with this, it just feels sturdier. It feels like something that is going to last a long time, that you can play over and over and over again without worrying about the pieces getting worn down. The game board is a huge upgrade. The deck boxes, all the ancillary materials that come with it, makes it feel like a standalone board game that anyone can play, not just Lorcana fans, and it could, like I said, be a gateway to help people get into Lorcana. So I give it a 10 out of 10. I love it. There's always room for improvement, but that just means the next one's going to be bigger and better, and I'll have to give it an 11. So love to see the Palace Heist, and can't wait to get into it and play with friends.